Why are we always late?
Why are we always late? It doesn't matter because our goal is to be on time. And guess what? Today,
We were on time.
today we was on
Not
time.
even. We weren't even on time. We was early.
Today, and that's it. So we don't even want to be on time.
Today
So
we had time.
today we had time,
Time.
cuz.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to our channel. If you're new here and if you're not, welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jasmine.
And I'm Brandon. And today we will be talking about goals. And in particular, New Year's resolution goals. So, um, just because New Year come around, and there's no better time to talk about goals. There's no better time to set goals. I know a lot of people can sometimes be sour apples and like I don't want to set goals just because it's the new year, or some people can be sour apples. Some people is like new year, new me. This is the prime opportunity for me to be a different me. I'm not taking anything from last year into this year. However, whatever, whoever you are, if you are a goal setter, the new year is a great time to set goals, achievable goals. But not only that, to also push yourself and set some goals that far surpass what you could even imagine achieving. So, yes, that's what we're talking about today. Goals.
So, we just want to encourage you guys today as you're starting your New Year's resolutions, be bold, be unashamed, no matter what your dream is. Even if you're 50 years old and your dream is something that everyone says you're past the age threshold to accomplish. We just want you guys to know that you can do anything that you set your mind to, that you make a plan for. So we just really, really want to encourage you guys that no matter what your dream is this year, make a commitment to take the steps to get there. Even
Absolutely.
if you can't
Absolutely.
or if you don't hit the dream right now, just make the commitment that you're going to sit down and make a plan and actually make moves towards getting to that plan. So you don't have to have it all figured out today. You don't have to reach your dream tomorrow or even this year. But we do encourage you to just have the ambition, sit down, make a plan, and go for it.
Absolutely. So today we just want to give you guys just a basic guidelines on where to start. We want to give you a basic list on how to write and achieve those goals. So we just want to give you 4 pointers that hopefully help you out a lot because it's helped me and my wife out a ton.
Yeah.
So number one, number uno, identify those goals. Right? Let's identify our goals, but not only identify those goals, let's write them down. Write them down. I know me, I'm visual, and I like to write my goals down on the mirror in the bathroom, and I have to rewrite them every week because somebody likes to
Clean.
like to clean and wipe them out. But no, write them down. Some write them down in the journal. Write them on a note card. If you have a vision board, which
Yeah,
is
that's a
another
good idea.
video. If you have a vision board, put your goals up on your vision board. You should so you can see those goals every day, every morning that you wake up. Look at your goals. Midday, if you're at home, look at your goals. Before you go to sleep at night, take a look at your goals, and just a reminder. Hey, this is what I'm shooting for. These are the things that I want to accomplish. So that's step one. Identify your goals and write them down.
I think that's extremely important, babe, because um, especially if you're a gym owner like we are, or you attend a gym, everyone is motivated.
Yeah.
January, February, and March, things start to trickle off.
Get a little
And
shaky.
by the middle of the year, no one is in the gym and they've totally forgotten about your goals. And so if you give yourself a consistent reminder of what it is that you set out to do, even in the middle, when it gets boring or when there's other things that you can be doing, you can still keep yourself on track towards your goal.
Yes.
Okay, so once you've identified your goals and where you want to go, we encourage you guys to come up with like a fun motto or saying to consistently remind yourself. So I think about like one really popular motto back in the day when I was coming up, but that was WWJD. What would Jesus do? And everyone had this wristband, and it was like, what would Jesus do? And it just constantly reminded you to keep yourself in check as far as faith is concerned. So I say come up with some fun motto. It can be catchy, it can be a song, it could rhyme, but something to just remind you of what your goal is for the year. And so if you take a step and you think, oh, this lines up with my goals, or I did something good today, you can remind yourself with your small motto. And so for this year, our family goal is pushing past ordinary. And so our church's goal is also pushing past ordinary.
Yes.
And so every time something happens, like this past week, I had a monumental moment, and I told my husband, I really pushed past ordinary this week, and I'm so proud of myself. Or I'll just tell myself when I'm struggling, Jasmine, you're pushing today. Like, you are pushing today.
Yeah.
So come up with something fun. Remind yourself, even when you're struggling, you're like, man, I'm just not doing good today. Remind yourself by using your motto. And so, whatever that is, come up with something cool, make yourself a hashtag, and keep it consistent and use it as your motivator.
Yeah. So you've identified your goals. You've created a catchy motto or phrase, just something to keep you encouraged. Now, thirdly, we're going to create a timeline,
Mm-hmm.
right? To create a timeline. So
Mm-hmm.
give yourself an amount of time that you want to achieve these goals. But this can be tricky because though you give yourself a timeline, you may not accomplish that goal in that amount of time. However, I still encourage you to keep pushing towards that goal, right? But just create a timeline so that you can have some type of accountability. Like, hey, this is what I'm pushing towards, right? You got to hold yourself accountable because you are your biggest hindrance, right? So hold yourself accountable. Give yourself a timeline so that you can track your progress and how I'm doing. And this is related to any type of goal that you have.
So I'll give you guys an example, and you saw this in our very first video. But on my timeline, I said by summer 18, I'm gonna have these abs. I'm gonna have these abs. So my timeline for my abs and where I want to be weight wise is broken down with the deadline of summer 18, so I can start ordering my bikinis. More like spring, so I can start ordering my bikinis and getting ready for summer. But I've broken it down, and so now I have a goal set in mind. And so, in March, when it starts to get warm outside, you want to go out to eat, you want to get ice cream, you want to slack off in the gym, I just remind myself, we've got 3 more months until, our deadline. We've got to keep it going. And so, giving yourself just like a nice little timeline, even if it's like, hey, by February, I want to save $100. By March, I want to save 150. It can just really, really help to motivate you and continue to keep you on track. And as you see yourself progress, it's like a huge motivator. You get excited, like, okay, I've already conquered this amount. I can do this. I'm ready to keep going forward.
Let's go.
So, what about you, babe? Do you have any timelines for yourself this year?
Do I have timelines?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I have timelines. I mean, one of my goals, I'll just share a goal with you all. One of my goals is to compete in a physique show, a men's physique show. There's a timeline because there's a show at the end of April, April 28th and 29th to be exact, that I want to compete in. So, yes, I'm currently training for it. I've been training for 2 months. I believe I have, what is this, January, February, March. So I have about 3 months left. So, yeah. Yeah, so that's my timeline, and that's just one example of a timeline that I have. So,
Yeah.
yes, yes,
Good
yes.
job.
And as that timeline approaches,
It's crunch time.
it's crunch time, and you start to see your progress. Am I on track? Am I not on track? What are the necessary changes that I need to make so that once this day comes, I'm ready?
Yeah. Okay, so now that you guys have got your timeline complete, one of the last things I will encourage you guys to do is, it's last, but it's certainly not least, and that is find yourself an accountability partner. Some people say I'm gonna write it on social media because then you guys can keep me accountable. But for me, I'd rather it be somebody that genuinely cares about me, that's close to me, that I can take correction from. And so a lot of times my accountability partner is my husband, or it's my brother, or it's my best friend. And I just say, hey, I'm going to do this. Can you help keep me accountable? And so I would encourage you guys to go the second route, which is using somebody that's close to you, because then you can kind of be more intimate and share with them why you want to take these steps.
Yeah.
So when you're slacking off and they're encouraging you, they can just remind you, hey, you want to do this. They're also really great because they keep you really consistent on your goals. One thing that my husband just said previously, it's crunch time once the deadline comes in. But if you've been consistent with your goals, then it doesn't really feel like crunch time. It
Right.
just feels like
Right.
you're just polishing up, and tying up loose ends and things.
Yep.
And so I really want you guys to get an accountability partner so that December doesn't come and you go, oh, I remember I said I was going to do all these things by 2019. And you're pulling out your hair trying to get to the goal, whereas, if you said, I'm going to save $1,000 by the end of 2018, trying to save $1,000 in 1 month is a lot harder than saving $1,000 in 12 months.
In the course of
Yeah.
12 months, absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
give yourself the opportunity to accomplish your goals. Phone a friend, find a family member, someone that's going to keep you consistent,
Yeah.
and say, "Hey, I need you to help me accomplish this goal."
Absolutely. And don't be afraid to have more than one accountability partner or even a group accountability group,
Mm-hmm.
right? Those are beneficial as well. So yes, but accountability partner is vital. Oh man, it's vital. Yes, yes, yes. So now what we want to do is share a few of our goals with you guys and girls so that you can see and hear what they look like. And yes, we do have them written down. So we have them written down. We have our theme written down, and then we have our goals written down as a family. So I will let my wife just share a few of our goals with you.
Yeah. So during our family meetings, I am the secretary. So I record all of our notes from things, and
she
so
she writes legibly.
I write.
We can read her writing.
Yeah, so a few of our goals this year. Our first goal is to spend more time in the Word together. And so um, we just decided, hey, in keeping in line with our motto, pushing past ordinary, we don't want to be the people that only pray over dinner. We don't want to be the people that only turn to God when something is completely wrong or when we need Him to, be a magic genie or something. We want to have a solid relationship with God. And so, in line with that, we've decided that we really want to up our prayer game this year. And so, we've decided, we've got a couple days where we wake up a little bit earlier and we also join our church prayer call. But just making sure that we're spending as much time with the Lord as possible, individually and together.
Absolutely.
So, our second goal is financial. And so, you guys know that we just got married. We haven't even been married a year yet. But we decided very early in our relationship that we did not want to have a lot of debt. Really, we don't want to have debt at all. No debt. So we've decided to create a financial plan for ourselves to pay off our debt. And so we have timeline of by 3 months we want to have this much paid off, by 6 months and things like that, and then a timeline for finishing paying off our school loans. And so we've been trying to be very diligent in that, and with that we do a budget, and we save a certain amount of money per month, and we pay off a certain amount of money in debt every month, and that just really helps keep us focused.
Yes. So one last goal that we have that I would like to share is that we wanted to be more timely, and mainly when it came to being on time to church, right? And this being on time to church, and for the most part, we get there before they start. However, um, if we left the house 20 minutes early, we can get there when the atmosphere is already set and prayers already been had, and you're able to just have that time with God before service starts. There's a difference between that and also in just showing up right as our morning prayer and scripture starting. Right as the praise and worship team is starting to sing.
Mm-hmm.
So we just want to be a little more timely and just be respectful and obedient to the Lord, and say, hey,
Yeah,
um,
and to our pastor,
to our
especially.
pastor, to life changers, the whole entire ministry. We just wanted to, say, hey, we can be here before it starts.
So I saw this thing on YouTube of a YouTube page called Think Media, and it was so inspiring. And he said, "Different is better than better." And although our motto for the year is pushing past ordinary, that really stuck with me. I thought different is better than better. And so for those of you who are saying, hey, you know, the way I am is the way that I grew up, this is what I've always seen, or I've never seen any good marriages, I've never seen any good relationships, I've never seen anyone debt free,
Yeah.
I've never seen anyone not struggling, guys. different is better than better. And so this year, just encourage yourself. Don't just say, I'm going to do better. Say, I'm going to be different. Change your mindset of saying, you know what? I don't want to be just better than my family members that never pay bills, because just better can mean paying one bill,
Yeah.
instead of all of them, or paying two bills. But change your mindset to say, I'm going to be different, and then
That's good.
set your goals and set your passions, and most of all, set your prayer life on being different.
That's good. That's good. So I just want to leave you all with an encouraging quote. One of my favorite quotes. I believe it's becoming one of my wife's favorite quotes as well. She's trying to tell me who quoted it, but the quote is, "Nothing changes if nothing changes." Love that quote. So
Mm.
just encourage you to be great. I encourage
Yeah.
you all to set goals, and push for those goals. Right, push past the ordinary. That's our motto. If you want to use that motto, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah.
Just pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, day in, day out. Right.
Yeah.
Don't be better, be different. G1.
Yes. G2.